Great song from John Legend starting off your Wednesday here. Welcome back. It's 8:15. Let's talk about your family's safety. Many of us worry about what our family will do if a flood or other natural disaster strikes. Would your family know what to do in an emergency? Chantal Tibbitts is the disaster response coordinator at Community Reach Center, and she's here to answer your questions. So good to have you here today.
Thank you, Brooke. It's great to be here.
So what do we need to do as parents to make sure we're prepared?
Well, I would have two general tips for families. The first is around supplies. So making sure that you've got food, water, flashlights, first aid kits. There's a lot of great online resources that have guidelines and even checklists for what you could use in your home should a disaster strike. And then I would also recommend that you put together a 72-hour kit to keep in your car. The second tip would be to actually create a family emergency plan.
Okay.
So know what disasters are common for your area. Have a plan both when you need to shelter in place, like in the instance of a tornado,
right,
or when you need to evacuate your home. And finally, practice, especially if you're a family with young children. Children need that repetitive practice to build that muscle memory that they'll need should an event occur.
I don't know if I'm alone in this, but my kids are at an age where they get afraid about what they hear on the news. They're fearful of it. So how do you make them feel at ease with being prepared?
Great question. So part of that, I think, is keeping your children involved in that process. So if they're part of that planning, then it reduces that fear of the unknown and that anxiety they might have. And then we have a fun project you could do with your children at home. This is taken from the American Red Cross. They have a program called the Pillowcase Project. And this is where local chapter members go into schools. They teach students about natural disasters. They provide a pillowcase that student can then decorate and color and take home to build their own kit. So if that's not happening at your school, just take it home as a parent.
Okay.
So you could provide a pillowcase. Now mine has a pattern here, but I would recommend maybe using a blank white one. Again, for your child to decorate. They could write a checklist or draw pictures of what they need to put inside their kit. Then some ideas of what you would put inside. First, some comfort objects.
Oh,
so,
Winnie.
So I happen to like Winnie the Pooh, but you could choose any favorite stuffed animal. Maybe a favorite book, if your child likes to read. Again, kind of that soothing comfort that you're trying to build. And then some activities. Often during a disaster, there's a lot of downtime or waiting. So a coloring book, puzzles, things your child likes to do to kind of keep them occupied, should there be an event. And then some basic emergency supplies. So I've got some really basic things here: tissues, a poncho, we've got hand sanitizer and a flashlight, a small first aid kit, again, for that child to feel like they're prepared. And then one of my personal favorites, chapstick.
Chapstick.
Yes. And I just want to remind parents, this is not prescriptive of what has to go in a pillowcase kit. Really keep your child's individual needs and interests in mind.
And they can probably, like you said, help pick out what they really think they're going to need. That is great, Chantal. Thank you so much for coming in. And I have a segment called Homemade Hacks that we do every Wednesday. And Jen, this is our hack today. So you can find out more information in the September issue of Colorado Parent Magazine about how to make your pillowcase with everything you have in your home already.
Well, working in weather, you know, I'm always dealing with disasters. I absolutely love that pillowcase idea. I've never seen that before.
Isn't that perfect? It's a perfect size.
Absolutely, where you can have all that stuff ready to go and then maybe throw in that favorite stuffed animal at the last minute when you need it. Such a great idea.